Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. You guys, hello, welcome. You guys, I am so excited that the Real Housewives of Atlanta, one of the best shows on Bravo, one of my favorite shows, is back for season 15. You guys, this season, just by this first episode alone, I can already tell it's going to be a good season. It's going to go back to the Atlanta that we're kind of used to, which is good because, the last two seasons it's been a little bit hard, but this season is so good. Like, I can feel the fresh energy and the authentic drama that's going to be coming. But the opening scene is none other than the OG herself, Miss Sheree Whitfield, in her house. And then guess who she receives, y'all? Her new boo, Martell Holt. This is crazy. It feels like an alternate reality timeline seeing Martell with Shereé. But Shereé has planned like some cooking thing and they're eating. And as they're eating, Shereé is telling him about the birthday party that they're going to be attending, which is Sanya's husband's party. And then they bring up some shady conversation about Kandi because Kandi had been throwing some shade herself, calling Martell an opportunist for being with Shereé. But you guys, Martell, like he came out swinging and he said, wow, he couldn't believe that Kandi said that. And he says that she is the one who married an opportunist. She said that Todd is the definition of an opportunist. And I was like, wow. And then he started to even make fun of their height. I was like, don't try it, Martell. Don't even go there. But speaking of Miss Kandi, she's up next. She's talking to her team about some of the plans that they have. And then you guys, guess who walks in? Miss Gone with the Wind, fabulous Kenya Moore, and Monyetta also joins. We saw Monyetta last season, but this year she's actually taking the role of a friend of, like officially. So they're talking. Kenya shares that she's talking to a guy now that Monyetta introduced, which I like that for Kenya. I'm happy for her. But then they start to get into some mess. They talk a little bit about Shereé and a little bit about her new boo, which, if you're dating Martell Holt, that's like a walking red flag. So I didn't really need to hear them say it. Like I already knew that. But Kenya does drop a major revelation, which is that Martell tried to holler at Kenya, which I totally believe because at this point I'm kind of guessing that he just wanted to be with one of these housewives. He probably wanted to be with Kenya, but since she didn't, accept him, he probably went with Shereé. And you know what? If Shereé didn't accept him, he probably would have even gone with Marlo. But Kenya does show them that the DM, she shows it to Kandi. But because it had been so long, once she accepts it, the message was deleted. So we don't know for a fact what the message said, but I mean, if he was going to her DM, probably can guess what it was. And then Kandi shares some marriage issues that she's been going through with Todd. And I didn't think it was that serious, but then she began to cry. And that was very upsetting. She feels like Todd wants to make her a problem. I don't like seeing Kandi cry, so that was a little bit sad. But the next scene is the 4-time Olympic gold medalist, Sanya Richard Ross. So she's still in her house and she's still living with the 35,000 people in there. And she's there talking about the party that she's doing for Ross's 40th birthday. And she wants to make sure that this party is awesome because y'all remember last year she had a really whack party. But anyway, before you know it, her sister kind of pops off on her because so Sanya kind of like employs her own family to be like her assistants or whatever. And yeah, she pays them, but they feel like Sanya doesn't really know about boundaries. So I guess this is why they say never mix family and business, But then we get a family scene with Kandi at home, and she's like, getting some food ready. But Todd is working on this thing for a project that he's doing, and Candy's telling him to like, come on, it's time for dinner, time for family time. And I didn't really like the way he was talking to her. Like he was kind of rude, kind of ignoring her, to be honest. But moving along, Miss Marlo Hampton enters the building. She's at home and she's having dinner with her nephews, who at this point have become her boys by now. And she brings in a life coach to talk to all three of them, and they acknowledge, Marlo's comments that she made last season, saying that she wanted to kick them out or whatever. So it's great that they're seeing this life coach slash therapist so they can like move along and become closer, because we have to remember that it's not like Marlo had these kids since they were born. Like, she skipped like years, so she still has a lot to learn, and I'm glad that she's taking the first steps into actually wanting to learn. But moving right along, Sanya goes to Sheree's house. They work out a little bit, and this new lady comes over. Her name is Courtney, and she's friends with Shereé. She will be a friend of the show this season. She has a marketing consulting company and a jewelry brand, she says. So they sit down, they start gossiping a little bit, and when it comes to Kandi, there seems to be some tension with Courtney. She's alleging that Kandi was doing some behind the scenes like research about her, and like telling people they were friends, but they're really not. And I can't with Shereé. Shereé was throwing major shade this whole episode. Like, she really put on her OG hat and was like letting them all have it. She said that, you know what, Kandi has a lot of time on her hands. She's been busy making memes about me. I guess that little video that Kandi made about the reunion, apparently it must have bothered Sheree, because she sure kept on referencing it, but it was funny. I didn't think it was anything bad. But anyway, we're getting closer to this party, which Sanya, y'all, she spent $100,000 on a birthday party. That's insane to me. Like, $1,000 is a lot. Can you imagine 100,000? I can't. But the night of the party comes, and we do see Ralph, but he says that Drew won't be there because she's going through some family crisis. But everybody else arrives. They're all dressed great, and of course, Martell and Shereé walk in together. All the other girls are being a little bit too dramatic about, Martell. And again, Shereé is throwing major shade at Kenya and Kandi. Like, she doesn't care what they say at this point. In the meantime, Marlo asks Courtney, like, what is going on with her and Kandi? So then Courtney fills her in on what she told Shereé earlier in the episode. And then Kandi approaches Sanya and Courtney. And, Courtney starts talking about this alleged friend that they have in common, and if she said that she knew her or she didn't know her. Honestly, like, the argument itself was a little confusing, because, like, why would they even be talking about that? But Kandi did get mad, and she was like, well, I don't even really know you. And she got very angry real quick. I did almost bust out laughing though, because Marlo was trying to overhear the conversation, but like not want to be a part of it. That was a little bit funny. But they continue, and this girl, Courtney, she was certainly trying to poke the bear. I mean, I feel like she really wanted a reaction out of Kandi, and unfortunately she got one, because Kandi had to walk away, and she said that she was about to headbutt that bee. But then the other girls, Kenya and Monyetta, are with Shereé. They sat her down, and they're telling Shereé about this relationship that she's in, and they're saying that there's some rumors going around that Martell has been kicking it with some girl in Atlanta, but Shereé doesn't really care. And then that's where Kenya drops the DM that she got from Martell, and then we end the episode. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see that little fight that's going to happen between Kenya and Martell, but we're definitely going to watch that next episode. So I can't wait to see that. But you guys, as far as this episode, great first episode, great way to start the season off. I think, like I said, this is going to be a very good season like we haven't seen in a long time. I will say, I did think it was kind of weird for us not to see Drew. I mean, she's a full-time housewife, and to not see her in the first episode, like not even a little glimpse, that was odd. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of this episode? Do you agree with me that it was really good? And two questions for y'all. One, what do y'all think about Shereé and this little shade she's throwing around? And what do you think about this fight with Courtney and Kandi? Let me know all your comments, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.